Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Now at 5 a.m., Lexington police have arrested a woman accused of stabbing a man during an argument.
A robbery at a truck stop ended with gunshots. Now a man behind bars for the crime says he didn't do it.
And family and friends and a community will say goodbye to a fallen firefighter later today. But of those stories and more, and breaking news as it happens, it's coming up on WKYT This Morning. Good morning to you and welcome. It's good to have you with us. Here we are to Wednesday, September 24th. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith, the second full day of fall.
That's right. And, I tell you, it's been a great season so far.
Yeah.
Let's hope we can hold on to some nice weather. And I think we do as we head toward the end of the week. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris in our First Alert Weather Center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. It does look really nice outside. I mean, you can see every single star out there, and which means, like I told you yesterday, whenever you see several stars out and about, you have clear skies, that usually this time of year leads to a chilly morning, and that's exactly what we're going to be seeing this morning. 40s and 50s right now. I think most of us will actually finish off there in the mid to upper 40s. 43 now in Mount Sterling. That takes the cake. 76 by the afternoon. Very comfortable air in store, not only for today, the next couple of days, but we do see a warming trend heading off toward the weekend, and it looks nice through parts of the weekend. That's the key word right there, parts. And I'll explain that coming up in your full forecast in about 10 minutes.
All right, here's the latest on WKYT News this morning. An investigation is underway after a fire at a vacant gas station in Lincoln County.
It happened at the Old Leach's Shell Mart along US 27. The Interior Journal reports that witnesses told police they heard a loud popping noise and saw a white truck leave the scene shortly before the fire began. The Interior Journal also says that arson investigators were already looking into several illegal burns at that same gas station. They'll now be looking into the cause of this one as well. Also new this morning, Lexington police arrested a woman accused of stabbing a man. It happened on Wem Drive just before 1 this morning. Police say the couple were staying at a friend's house when they got into an argument. That's when police say Jacqueline McColgan stabbed her boyfriend in the torso with a knife. He was taken to UK hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. McColgan was arrested and charged with assault.
The owners of a bar that was damaged in a hit and run over the weekend are teaming up with some other local businesses to raise money for the victim.
Police say Jared McCargo ran over several people outside the beer trap in Chevy Chase Friday night. WKYT's Victor Puente is live there this morning with more on what they'll be doing for the victim.
Looking at the front of the beer trap, you can still see some of the damage from Friday night. Even as they're working to make repairs, they're also working to help the man injured in that hit and run. A Friday night, Noel Espino was one of several people outside of the beer trap when a driver crashed into the front of the building, hitting Espino, causing critical injuries. Police say Jared McCargo was the driver of that SUV. They arrested him near his house after they say he fled from the scene. At the time of the crash, McCargo was a Lexington firefighter, but the city fired him on Monday. Now the people in charge at the beer trap are trying to raise money to help Espino. Today, $1 of every draft will go to him. West 6th Brewing and the Athenian Grill are also taking part in the fundraiser.
That Lexington cares, that we really do care, and now he's one of us, and he's family with us.
The man police say was driving that SUV, Jared McCargo, has been charged with DUI, leaving the scene of an accident, assault, and driving without insurance. His next court appearance is Friday. Live in Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Victor, thank you. According to our news partners at the Herald Leader, McCargo is also wanted on a DUI charge out of Cobb County, Georgia. That warrant was issued in June of 2002 and is still active.
Police say the owner of a truck stop in Winchester shot at 2 robbers while they tried to rob his business. The shooting sent one man to the hospital. The other man is now behind bars, but he says he's innocent. Police arrested Curtis Wilkerson at the scene yesterday. Wilkerson says he was with the other suspect at the 96 truck stop. He says he wasn't part of the robbery. Wilkinson says the other suspect told him he was going to rob the truck stop, and when he told him not to, he put a gun to Wilkerson's head.
I didn't rob the place. I didn't plan on robbing the place. I told him don't rob the place. He didn't listen to me.
Police say the 2 men involved in the truck stop robbery could also be connected to the robbery of a cab driver earlier this week. Wilkerson says he wasn't involved in that one either.
Today, family and friends, as well as an entire community, will be saying goodbye to a fallen firefighter. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel is at our live desk this morning with more details on that. Whitney, good morning.
Good morning. Funeral services are scheduled today for Campbellsville Fire Captain Tony Grider. He died Saturday from injuries that he suffered while helping with an ice bucket challenge. Last month, Grider and fellow firefighter Alex Quinn were both in the ladder bucket of a fire truck when an electrical current from nearby power lines struck them. Quinn was released from a Louisville hospital last week. Yesterday, firefighters from across the country traveled to Adair County to attend Grider's visitation. Fire crews from Lexington and as far as Washington, D.C. are coming together to honor the fallen firefighter. Grider's funeral service will start at noon today at Columbia Christian Church. At the live desk, Whitney Wetzel, back to you.
All right, Whitney, thank you.
All right, making national headlines this morning, the search for a missing University of Virginia student is now focused on one person.
Police have issued an arrest warrant for the man who they believe was the last person seen with Hannah Graham the night she disappeared. Jesse Leroy Matthew Jr. has been charged with abducting the 18-year-old. Graham has been missing since September 13th. Matthew was last seen Saturday when he stopped by a police station with his mother and an uncle to ask for a lawyer. Police say he sped away, losing officers who had him under surveillance. The FBI and Homeland Security say there is no indication of an al-Qaeda or Islamic State group terror plot inside the United States. But they say airstrikes over Syria may have temporarily disrupted attacks that were planned against Western targets, including the U.S. The U.S. and 5 Arab allies carried out more than 200 airstrikes against the Islamic State group in Syria and Iraq late Monday.
A special event was held to honor the people who've died serving our country. The Kentucky National Guard Memorial Dinner was held on the Malones on Tate's Creek. Special guests included former Wildcat Tayshaun Prince and Major General Edward Tonini of the Kentucky National Guard. The Guard hopes to open a memorial up in Frankfort to the fallen in November. Time to get a look at live drive traffic, see how things are moving.
Our time is 5:07. Let's get our first look outside right now at a live camera, and here it is downtown at Broadway at High Street this morning. No reports of any problems early. That's a good thing. Interstates are running very well. Most of these construction projects that they were trying to get done through the summer months have been completed, although there are some projects that do continue in some areas. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, buckle up, make it a safe ride in. WKYT this morning is just getting started, and it's so good to have you with us Wednesday morning.
A California farmer struck gold with his harvest of pumpkins resembling spooky Halloween characters. We'll have a look at them after the break.
Yeah, those are all really cool to see. 40s outside, 50s here and there. Still a cool start to the morning, and as we go throughout the next few days, we'll see temperatures get warmer and warmer off toward the 80s. I'll show you that forecast coming up.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris and First Alert Defender.
Crystal clear outside this morning. It's absolutely beautiful. It is on the cool side, though. It's one of those mornings, once again, that we're going to see a little bit of chilly conditions here and there. Live sky camera, every single light of Hamburg you can see off in the distance, which tells you one thing. No fog. So there's some good news for you. There is no widespread fog expected. So we're going to be looking at temperatures there in the 40s and 50s. And we're just going to keep continuing to see these 40s each and every morning, it seems like. Wednesday, zone by zone, let's go through it. Holding on to the mid-70s, 76 degrees there in Lexington. That goes for Lancaster, Richmond, Winchester. No matter where you look, it's beautiful outside. You'll have mostly sunny skies anywhere you look. And even some locations like yesterday, we didn't see any clouds in some locations. It was just crystal clear, a lot of sunshine to be had. And that's going to be the case around much of the region. Down south, you could have a few clouds. Don't expect any rain out of that. Mid-70s, and that goes for over toward the east-southeast. As you see, we're getting warmer and warmer each and every day as we kind of move toward the weekend. 77 in Maysville today. That goes for Covington, Owenton. And up here, you still have a better chance of actually seeing a little bit warmer temperatures than the south. Just got that higher pressure just to the north of you, and that helps you warm up pretty rapidly. All in all, it looks good today and tomorrow. Going in toward Friday, 73 at kickoff. It's much better than these cool temperatures we've had past a couple of Fridays. Still nice and dry there at second half. I don't see you needing a coat, maybe a long sleeve if you're one of those that gets a little chilly easily. But the next couple of days just look phenomenal. Going off toward Friday, still good. No issues whatsoever. especially as we head towards Saturday, is you look for 80 degrees. Kickoff is going to be right there around 75 there for the UK game. So even that night, you still won't need a coat. But once that sun sets, maybe a long sleeve shirt will be a must. Sunday, that's when a system moves in from the south. Still uncertainty on the track and how much we're going to see out of that, so still smaller chances Sunday through Tuesday. But those are our next best chances of rain. We still have several days to go, or a few days to go, I should say, until we actually see even rain in the forecast. Not just a chance, but anywhere in the forecast. So it looks good. Yeah.
First week of fall, not too shabby.
Not too shabby. I like it.
Enjoy this great weather
Yep.
ahead of those changes. It's 5:13. A California farmer is using some unique technology to create pumpkins that resemble really spooky Halloween figures.
You know, it's that time of year again. The farm's owner has coined them Pumpkinstein. They're 100% naturally and organically grown. The frightening fruit's been growing in molds since March and attracting buyers from around the world. It's taken almost 4 years of trial and error to find the best way to grow the pumpkins within the mold. This year's harvest marks their first full production. The owner sells them for $75 a pop.
Well, I think he's got it down pat.
Very interesting.
Look pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, 5:14 WKYT this morning on the air with the latest. Good to have you along on this Wednesday as we get this day off and rolling.
Stay with us. We have a look at your money.
Paula Deen fans are in for a treat, and one ride a woman took is one she won't soon forget. I'm Karina Mitchell, and I'll have those stories coming up in your CBS Money Watch report.
Good morning. Welcome back in. WKYT this morning on the air at 5:17, and the three largest soda makers have pledged to cut the number of sugary drink calories that Americans consume.
And Paula Deen is dishing up her own network. Karina Mitchell has the latest on your money.
Disappointing economic news from Europe and U.S. airstrikes against Islamic militants in Syria sent markets lower yesterday. The Dow dropped nearly 117 points while the Nasdaq lost 19. Coke, Pepsi, and Dr. Pepper will cut the number of sugary drink calories Americans consume by 20% over a decade. The three largest soda makers made the pledge at the Clinton Global Initiative in New York, saying they'll sell smaller portions and increase sales of bottled water and low-calorie sodas. And Paula Deen is dishing up her own network. Starting today, fans can subscribe to watch the Queen of Southern Fried Cooking, but they'll have to pay $9.99 a month to access many of her Food Network episodes, including her unaired 13th season. Recipes will be available for free, and she'll also serve up a self-produced documentary about her admitted use of racial slurs and endorsement of a diabetic drug while promoting rich country cooking. And a Denver woman paid more for an Uber ride than she bargained for. It cost her about $550 to get to a concert and back. She says a ride-sharing app charged about $100 for the 21-mile one-way ride, but because of Uber's surge pricing policy, charged her more than $400 for the ride back. Uber says passengers are asked to accept surge pricing before hailing a ride. And that's your CBS Money Watch. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. In New York, I'm Karina Mitchell.
So is a checking account without checks still a checking account? I've never wondered that, but we'll look at the sign of the times in the banking industry.
Things are changing. Citibank is the latest bank to offer a checking account without any checks. The recent survey shows 65% of Americans either don't own a checkbook or prefer not to use checks. Instead, they're opting for online or mobile payments. Bank of America and Chase offer similar accounts. Don't fret, though, you check writers out there. Regular checks should still be around for a long time. A lot of folks still like to pay those bills that way. Starbucks is experimenting with a new latte that tastes like beer. The drink is called Dark Barrel, but there's no actual beer in the beverage. It is made with espresso, and it's topped with whipped cream, dark caramel drizzle, and it comes blended with a chocolatey stout flavored sauce. It's currently being tested at locations in Ohio and Florida. There's no word on when or if it will be available at a Starbucks near you. Interesting.
Two worlds come together.
There you go. All right, let's check live drive traffic this morning at 5:20, see what's happening. We're looking at I-64 and I-75, the northern split, and you're good to go in that area, and things are moving along just fine. Now, in Lexington, traffic alert in the Euclid Avenue area there, the Chevy Chase area, where Euclid Avenue, Fontaine, and Tate's Creek all come together. They're removing that traffic island that's there, and that's going to take a couple of days. So if you're traveling through Chevy Chase, keep that in mind. point for the next little bit. All right, more to come on WKYT this morning. It's good to have you along here on this Wednesday.
Stay with us. Sports is on the way.
Up next, the football Cats will be looking to start fast against Vandy. EKU is 4-0, and we take a look at our high school football rankings. Sports is on the way.
Looking outside this morning and seeing the 40s and 50s, kind of depends on where you are. 54 there in Covington, Jackson 53, and then the rest of us sitting there in the 40s. No fog issues. There's some good news. Nice, cool start once again, 48. We have one more morning until we get back in the 50s, and we're not seeing that really cool air settle on in. By the afternoon, it's getting warmer, mid-70s, still pretty pleasant, though, for this time of year. That's right around average. Mostly sunny skies. Here's someone that says, you know what, I don't care if summer's over. I am not getting away from my pool. I'm just going to hang out and get a nice little suntan. Maybe even jump in the water. You know what I mean?
Cool dude knows he has a few days left.
No doubt about it.
More sunshine.
No doubt about it. You gotta love it. That's a cool shot right there. 80s are coming, cool dude. Take off toward the pool, my man. Tabitha, we appreciate it very much. It's sports time. Let's see what's going on.
Following practice yesterday afternoon, quarterback Patrick Toll said the Cats still have a bad taste in their mouth from that Florida game. Kentucky returns to action Saturday against Vanderbilt. For the most part, this season the Cats have started fast. No team has been able to come out and get the jump on them. Mark Stoops wants to keep that going.
We've emphasized we've wanted to start the season fast. We want to start each game fast. This past week we didn't start exactly fast, but we weathered the storm early too in a hostile environment, in a tough environment. We didn't let them jump on us and start fast like happened to us sometimes last year on the road. So I thought our players handled that adversity very well.
EKU is 4-0 on the young season, but more importantly, 1-0 in conference play following its victory at UT Martin last weekend. The Colonels have been riding the hot hand of transfer running back Deshaun Mobley. The UK transfer leads EKU in rushing and has shown the ability to break the big run. Mobley has been named the OVC Newcomer of the Week for the second week in a row.
I just got to give a big hands up to my offensive linemen. They helped me get these awards, so they get as much award I get. They need it too. They just been making big holes for me, and I just been hitting them full speed and end zone. There we go.
He wants to run for them because they're working so hard for him, and they want to block, for him because they know they don't have to be perfect. Takes a little bit of heat off of them. He can make somebody miss, and now he's proven a couple different games that he can go the distance.
It is time again to reveal our new Game Time Top 10 high school football poll, and here it is. Unbeaten Scott County tops our poll for the 5th straight week. The Cardinals host Clark County on Friday, a battle of the Redbirds. Pulaski County number 2, the Maroons are 4-0 and travel to Lincoln County this Friday. Madison Southern returns after having last week off. The Eagles and Damian Harris, they host South Laurel. Undefeated Boyle County is number 4. Dudley Hilton brings his Taylor County Ball Club to Danville on Friday. Lafayette is 5. They host number 7 Henry Clay. Bryan Station is 6th. Franklin County is down to number 8, followed by Frankfort at 9, and Bourbon County holds steady at number 10 this week. That's a look at sports. Have a great day.